Good morning, good afternoon and good evening, fellow bookers. Welcome to Excellent Books. Coming up to the end of December. We're in the library. We are at the top of Hope Valley. That's to Hathersage. That way's to Grindleford, Stony Middleton. Kinder's in the distance. It's a little bit chilly, but it is the end of December, so we're not doing too bad. I hope you've all had a beautiful Christmas. I hope you've all had lots of time off and got everything that you wanted to do done. New Year's coming up. I hope you've all got plans for that. I'm just going to get myself sorted out here in the library, in the landscape section. Make a brew and go through what I've done. There we go, cheers. I think my last video was a little bit long, so I'll keep this one a bit shorter. I started the month of December off with Beyond Redemption by Michael Fletcher. Very well talked about book. What's it about? It's about 3 killers, scumbags, who decide to make some money and kidnap the godchild, or to-be godchild, and it's their journey on that escapade and the people that they come across. Now, these 3 characters you shouldn't like are total scumbags. But you end up liking them. You can't help but like them. They're broken people. So, you know, it's set in a world where if you've not got any mental issues, you're on the fringes of society. Normality is if you've got mental issues, whether they be psychopathy or anything. I'm not going to give too much away, but they end up kidnapping the kid that's going to be a god, and the chase that goes on after him. There is one totally despicable character in it that I hated, and he can manipulate people to make him think he's the best thing since sliced bread. Oh. And one of the characters that you do feel sorry for is this broken person. She's a pyromaniac, and let's have a look. Goering. She's the kleptomaniac. Very broken, very unloved. But because she falls in with Ebricon, a lot of the names, a lot of the terminology in this book have got a German slang to them. They are a bit off-putting, and it put me off a little bit. I was expecting a lot more from this book, from reviews and everything like that I've seen, but it's still worth a read. Still worth a read. There is one brilliant character in it. She's one of the main killers in it, and you should not like her. You shouldn't like her at all. Stellan. I mean, she'll kill you as soon as look at you, but I really fell for her. She was my favourite character in the whole book. Yeah, very funny all the way through, but it let down because I think it was overly complicated. It's a very easy story. 3 killers want to make money, kidnap someone. The people that they've kidnapped off, try and find them. Easy story, overly complicated, but well worth a read. Second book I read, I'm keeping this one short. 9 Stories by J.D. Slazenger. Short stories. It's quite windy, so I've got to keep everything tight here. Which were the best stories that I liked in it? Perfect Day for Banana Fish. That was a good short story. They keep going on about, on a phone call, this young woman that's recently been married, and the family are obviously worried about her. Comes back, and not the ending I was expecting. For Esme with Love and Squalor, that was quite good. A young man who went to war from America, and ends up getting traumatised by what he sees and what he has to do when he's in Germany. And Teddy, that's a good story as well. Not a great deal to say about it. J.D. Slazenger, very well written. A lovely book. What more can you say? A lovely book. Would I read it again? I'd maybe read those ones. But not one that's... It didn't grab me. Third book. This is going to be short, isn't it? But anyway, why not? You know, we can't have long ones all the time. It's Christmas. The Empusium by Olga Tokarczuk. Probably pronounced that wrong. Saw a fella in America that I follow, Poor Person's Book Reviews. He read this, he liked it, I got it. This Olga person has obviously read Thomas Mann's The Magic Mountain, and this book is heavily influenced by that book. I haven't read Thomas Mann, The Magic Mountain, but I've got it. It's been on my list for a long time, and I will get around to it in 2025. This book, it was good, but it could have been so much more. It's about before World War I, people suffering with TB that go to this mountain valley and get treatment. This young man, he doesn't know really how to interact with other people, and he's the narrator, and he's telling you about his stop in the village. It's a German village. They just crept up on me, not paying attention to what's behind me, you see. And there's a kestrel right in front of me up there. So, Empysium Health Resort, a lot of spooky goings on in the mountains. I think it could have done a lot more. She's gone on more about the interaction between the group that are stopping in the hotel and the goings on. I would have liked it more if she would have described more the mountain scenery that in this valley and the pine forests at the walkthrough. If you've never been, I'm lucky I went climbing in Germany where this book is based, up in the Franken-Jura, which is a big pine forested area, lots of old pine trees, old growth pine trees. The smell, we don't get it in England because it's all deciduous woodland, rolling hills. Yes, there are pine plantations in like the Lake District, Northumberland, Scotland. Nothing as big and as impressive as in Europe. And the smell, I remember the smell and the quiet in Germany while we were climbing was just something beautiful. And the village we stopped in was just, stunning. It had not been, altered by concrete. It was very an authentic country village. Beautiful place, absolutely stunning, and that is what I was hoping this would have more of. The smells, the senses you get walking through these massive old pine forests, but it didn't have any of that, which I hope Thomas Manns does, because there is something special. Anyway, I liked it. The ending didn't end how I thought it was gonna end, so a nice little twist there. A very good book. Not something that I would normally read, so it was a nice distraction. And they're the 3 books that I read in December. So, with it being Christmas, I have obviously got some books. So one of the books I got just got interrupted in the library again, because this is called Surprise View. You come over the moors and surprise, surprise, there's Hope Valley there. Anyway, books I got for Christmas: Walden, Henry David Thoreau. Very famous bloke in America, lived for 2 years out in the woods, and it's his what he learned in that time while he was out in the wilds. I think it's got poetry in it, everything. His thoughts, of living off-grid, we'd call it now, wouldn't we? And the impact it's made on his life. And he was quite an influential thinker in the start of the 1900s. Second, Angela Carter, The Infernal Desire Machines of Dr. Hoffman. I've read 2 of her books now. I quite like the way that she writes. This is meant to be one of her more you could take offence at it easily, so I'm told. I don't know why. I'm quite hard to get offence at anything, but anyway. I don't know a great deal about it, apart from there's a machine that gives you all your desires and it's ruining society, and there are police teams that go around and destroy Dr. Hoffman's machines. So let's see what that's like. Lucky last, Bram Stoker's Dracula's Guest and Other Weird Stories. I'm a massive Dracula fan. Massive. We've been to Whitby, we've been all around where he stopped, where he wrote the books, all them kind of things. Massive Dracula fan, always have been. Massive vampire fan. This has been recommended because it is slightly different, got a quite gothic horror bent to it, not modern gore, which to be honest don't work for me. As I've told you, my job, I take the organs out of people and see how they died. I'm covered in blood, I'm covered in bodily fluids. Gore, for the sake of gore, do what I do for a job, and then you'll see what real gore is. It's the psychological side of it that really sets me up. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And that's it. Nice, short trip to the library. I do hope you've all once again had a good Christmas. I do hope you're all enjoying yourself. There's loads coming, so. Well, that's all from me in the library. Looking down the Hope Valley. Little kestrel in the air there, look. I hope you've all gonna have a good new year. Don't worry about reading enough. Don't matter if you read one book only. Everyone's busy nowadays. You're just hunting up there, look. So yeah, I shall see you all in the new year. Have a great time, whatever you're doing. Thanks for watching. Ta-da.